Hello, dear viewer. I'm glad to see you on this video. Make yourself comfortable. I'll play music with certain frequencies that are known to have a positive effect on our brain during meditation and sleep, so don't forget to subscribe. I don't have any ads in this video, so nothing will interfere with your deep dive into the halls of your mind. Today we'll talk about something very interesting and significant for our galaxy. I've prepared this video for you, so you can thank me with a like. Get ready. Imagine for a moment that everything we feared about 3A Atlas was wrong. Not just slightly wrong, but catastrophically, beautifully wrong. What if this interstellar object barreling through our solar system isn't a dormant probe, isn't a lifeless chunk of cosmic debris, and certainly isn't ignoring us? What if 3 Atlas is exactly what the most optimistic among us barely dared to whisper? A mothership, a vessel of liberation, an invitation to join something far greater than ourselves. Today we'll explore one of the most mind-blowing hypotheses in the history of 3I Atlas research. We're asking questions that could change everything. What happens if they're friendly? What happens if they came here specifically to free humanity from our limitations, our conflicts, our self-imposed prisons, and more importantly, what happens to us? Over the next 2 hours, we'll answer 10 questions that will immediately dominate every conversation on Earth. Why would they choose now? What's the real price of their help? How do we even verify they're telling the truth? And the question that should terrify and excite you in equal measure: what happens to human identity, purpose, and meaning when all our struggles simply end? By the end of this episode, you'll understand why a benevolent first contact might be more dangerous than a hostile one. You'll see why the gift of unlimited technology could destroy us faster than any weapon. And you'll realise that the most important question isn't whether 3 Atlas is friendly, it's whether humanity is ready for friendship. The implications are staggering, the possibilities are endless, and the answers, as you're about to discover, are far more complex than anyone wants to admit. Stay with me until the very end, because what we uncover in the final chapters will fundamentally change how you see our place in the universe. But before we dive in, do me a favour. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And down in the comments, tell me where you're listening from, what time it is there. And here's the big question for today. If aliens offered to solve all of humanity's problems tomorrow, would you say yes or no? I want to hear your reasoning. All right, let's begin. Why now? The first question that would explode across every scientific institution, every government war room, and every philosophical circle on Earth is devastatingly simple. Why now? Why would an advanced civilization capable of traversing the vast darkness between stars choose this precise moment in human history to reveal themselves? The timing isn't just curious, it's suspicious. And in the game of interstellar diplomacy, timing is everything. Consider where humanity stands today. In late 2025, we are technologically advanced enough to detect and track interstellar objects, to analyse their composition from millions of kilometres away, and to have meaningful debates about their nature and origin. But we're not advanced enough to respond, to reach out, to defend ourselves if necessary. We're in that awkward adolescent phase of civilization, aware of the wider universe, but still trapped in our cosmic nursery. It's the perfect moment for intervention, if intervention is what they have in mind. Think about that for a moment. We're observable, but not threatening. We're intelligent, but not powerful. We're conscious of our limitations, but incapable of transcending them alone. From an outside perspective, we're ripe for contact. The question is whether that contact represents opportunity or vulnerability. Some researchers would immediately point to our current state of global crisis as the trigger. Climate change accelerating beyond our control. Nuclear weapons proliferating despite decades of disarmament efforts. Artificial intelligence development racing ahead without adequate safety frameworks. Biodiversity collapse threatening ecosystem stability worldwide. Perhaps 3 Atlas isn't responding to our achievements, but to our distress signals, the cosmic equivalent of an emergency beacon we didn't know we were broadcasting. The psychological impact of this timing would be profound. Humanity has spent the last century oscillating between technological optimism and existential dread. We've built machines that can think, weapons that can annihilate continents, and systems of communication that connect billions of minds. Yet we've also created problems that seem insurmountable through our current paradigms. Wars continue despite unprecedented global connectivity. Poverty persists alongside unimaginable wealth. Disease ravages populations even as medical science achieves miracles. We're simultaneously at our most powerful and our most helpless. Enter 3 Atlas, at precisely this inflection point. Not too early when we lack the conceptual frameworks to understand what we're being offered. Not too late when we might have already destroyed ourselves or evolved beyond the need for outside help. Right now, when hope and despair are perfectly balanced on a knife's edge. When the offer of salvation would be most appealing and most transformative. But there's a darker interpretation of this timing that we cannot ignore. Advanced civilizations don't make casual decisions. They don't stumble into first contact by accident. If 3 Atlas chose now, they chose it for strategic reasons. Perhaps they've been watching us for decades, centuries, monitoring our development through methods we can't detect, waiting for the optimal moment when we're simultaneously desperate enough to accept help and organized enough to be useful partners or subjects. The historical parallels here are chilling. Every empire that's ever expanded has known the value of timing. You don't conquer a civilization at its peak. You conquer it during its crisis. You don't offer aid when it's unnecessary. You offer it when refusal means collapse. The most effective form of control is rescue, because gratitude is stronger than fear and dependency is stronger than domination. Consider also the astronomical timing. 3 Atlas entered our solar system during a period of unprecedented human attention to interstellar objects. The discovery of Oumuamua in 2017 sparked a revolution in how we monitor extrasolar visitors. Our detection networks, our analysis capabilities, our public engagement with these phenomena, all of it reached a critical mass just as 3 Atlas arrived. Coincidence or calculation? Perhaps they've been waiting for us to reach this specific threshold of awareness. There's no point in revealing yourself to a civilization that can't perceive you, that lacks the instruments and institutions to recognize what it's seeing. But arrive after they've started looking up, after they've tasted the possibility of contact with their detection of previous visitors, and suddenly your arrival becomes inevitable rather than shocking. You're not forcing contact, you're responding to an invitation. The timing also coincides with humanity's first serious attempts at interstellar communication and exploration. Our radio signals have been leaking into space for over a century. Our deliberate messages to the stars, like the Arecibo message and its successors, have been sailing through the cosmos for decades. Perhaps 3 Atlas represents a response. A civilization saying, "Yes, we received your message and here we are." The journey may have taken them years or centuries, but from their perspective, this is the correct moment for a reply. Yet there's something else, something subtler about the timing that should give us pause. 3 Atlas arrives during an era of profound human division. We're more connected than ever through technology, yet more fractured than ever through ideology. No single government, institution, or philosophy can claim to speak for humanity as a whole. We have no unified first contact protocol, no agreed upon framework for how to respond to an offer of this magnitude. We're vulnerable not through weakness, but through disagreement. This is the perfect time to divide and conquer without firing a single shot. Offer help to a united species, and they might refuse out of caution or pride. Offer help to a divided species, and some faction will always accept, will always welcome you, will always provide the foothold you need. The timing ensures that, however this unfolds, some portion of humanity will embrace 3 Atlas, while another portion resists, and in that division lies either opportunity for manipulation or guarantee of conflict. But let's examine the possibility that the timing is genuinely benevolent, that 3 Atlas chose now because this is when we need help the most. Perhaps advanced civilizations operate on principles we don't yet understand. Ethical frameworks that mandate intervention at specific developmental thresholds. Maybe there are cosmic laws, galactic agreements, universal principles that govern when elder civilizations can contact younger ones. And maybe we just cross that threshold. Some theories in astrobiology suggest that civilizations must prove certain capabilities before they're deemed ready for contact. Mastery of nuclear energy, development of artificial intelligence, recognition of climate systems and planetary boundaries, achievement of global communication networks. We've demonstrated all of these in recent decades. Perhaps 3 Atlas is the prize, the reward, the next level that unlocks only when you've completed the prerequisites. This interpretation aligns with what some call the Star Trek hypothesis, the idea that advanced civilizations enforce a kind of prime directive, refusing contact with pre-threshold species to allow natural development. But once you build your warp drive, once you prove you're ready, the quarantine lifts. 3 Atlas might be the galactic welcome wagon arriving at the cosmically appointed hour. The emotional impact of these different timing interpretations would shape humanity's response in profound ways. If we believe they came because they're predatory, we'll respond with suspicion and resistance regardless of what they offer. If we believe they came because we're special, because we've earned this moment, we'll respond with pride and acceptance. If we believe they came because we're in crisis and they're genuinely here to help, we'll respond with desperate gratitude. And each of these emotional frameworks will blind us to dangers we should see. There's also the quantum uncertainty of first contact timing. Maybe they didn't choose when to arrive. Maybe 3 Atlas has been traveling for millennia, launched by a civilization that calculated our developmental trajectory and aimed for this window. They might not even know whether their timing is correct until they arrive. They could be operating on ancient orders, following a mission designed by beings long dead, hoping their mathematics accurately predicted when we'd be ready. Or perhaps, and this is where things get truly strange, the timing isn't about us at all. What if 3 Atlas is fleeing something? What if they chose now not because it's optimal for us, but because it's necessary for them? Advanced civilizations face their own crises, their own predators, their own existential threats. Maybe they need Earth, need humanity, need this specific moment not to save us, but to save themselves. And the offer of liberation is actually a plea for sanctuary. This possibility recontextualizes everything. If 3 Atlas represents refugees rather than saviors, then the timing reflects their desperation rather than our readiness. The gifts they offer might be genuine, but transactional. Help us and we'll help you. Shelter us and we'll elevate you. The benevolence becomes mutual rather than one-sided, which is either more reassuring because it's balanced or more concerning because it implies threats we don't yet understand. The timing question also forces us to confront uncomfortable truths about our own perception of readiness. We've been declaring ourselves ready for contact for decades through our SETI programs and our messages to the stars. But are we really? Can any civilization ever truly be ready to meet something vastly superior to itself? The timing might be perfect from an outside perspective, while being catastrophically premature from our own. We might look ready while being fundamentally unprepared. And there's the possibility that no timing would ever feel right. Contact deferred becomes contact denied. And at some point, intervention must occur regardless of optimal conditions. Perhaps 3 Atlas chose now not because we're perfectly ready, but because we're ready enough, and waiting any longer would allow preventable catastrophes to unfold. It's the trolley problem on a civilizational scale. Do you let us struggle and possibly fail, respecting our autonomy? Or do you intervene, accepting the consequences of interference? The reality is that the timing question has no satisfying answer because we lack the context to interpret it. We don't know their motivations, their constraints, their history, or their alternatives. We're trying to understand an alien decision-making process with human psychology, trying to read intention into actions that might follow logic we can't comprehend. The timing might be perfect, random, calculated, desperate, or meaningless by their standards. What we can say with certainty is that the timing will be interpreted, must be interpreted, by every human who learns of it. And those interpretations will shape our response more than any objective analysis ever could. If governments believe the timing suggests predation, they'll mobilize for defense. If religions believe the timing fulfills prophecy, they'll mobilize for acceptance. If scientists believe the timing indicates calculation, they'll mobilize for caution. The timing becomes a raw shock test revealing more about humanity than about 3 Atlas. Perhaps that's the most important insight here. The timing question isn't really about when they arrived. It's about whether we're capable of responding appropriately whenever they arrive. And that's a question about us, not them. A civilization truly ready for contact wouldn't obsess over timing. They'd focus on verification, communication, and careful evaluation of what's being offered. The fact that we're immediately suspicious of the timing reveals our own insecurity about our place in the cosmic order. Why now? The timing question is the most critical and explosive one, and it cuts straight to the heart of interstellar relations. It's not just a question of why did they come now, but why is it this moment? This question would consume every scientific institution, every government war room, every philosophical circle on Earth. The timing isn't just curious, it's deeply suspicious. In the game of interstellar diplomacy, timing is everything, and 3 Atlas seems to have entered the scene with perfect precision. Consider where humanity stands today, in late 2025. We have made significant technological strides in detecting and tracking objects in space, analysing their composition from millions of kilometres away, and identifying patterns in interstellar phenomena. Yet despite all this advancement, we are still in an awkward adolescent phase of civilization. We can observe the universe, but we cannot yet reach out, nor can we protect ourselves against potential threats. We are aware of our limitations, but still unable to transcend them, and this makes us ripe for contact. At this specific moment in history, we are observant enough to notice something, yet too vulnerable to act on it or fully comprehend it. There is something inherently unsettling about being both visible and powerless at the same time. From the perspective of an advanced civilization, this would be the perfect time to make contact, when we are sufficiently aware of the cosmos, yet not powerful enough to defend ourselves. We are in crisis and ripe for assistance. Some researchers would immediately point to our current state of global instability as the cause. Our planet is on the brink of disaster, climate change accelerating beyond control, nuclear threats still looming despite disarmament efforts, and artificial intelligence advancing at an alarming rate, leaving us uncertain about the potential consequences. These are the conditions that would compel an advanced civilization to intervene. 3 Atlas might not be responding to our successes or achievements, but rather to our cries for help. The distress signals we have been unknowingly broadcasting into the cosmos through our actions and technologies could have reached them. This is where the timing becomes more than just a matter of coincidence. What if they have been monitoring us for centuries, aware of our development, but waiting for the right moment to intervene? Perhaps this moment is when our crises have reached a tipping point, and we are on the edge of either a breakthrough or complete collapse. But how do we know if their intervention will be for our benefit or for their own? The psychological impact of this timing is profound. Humanity has spent the last century oscillating between optimism about technological advancements and the looming fear of existential threats. We've created machines that think, systems that communicate across the globe, and weapons capable of destroying entire cities. But alongside these accomplishments, we have also created problems that seem insurmountable. Global conflicts that persist despite unprecedented connectivity, inequality that persists despite the wonders of modern wealth, and diseases that continue to ravage populations even as medical science makes miracles. In short, we are at our most powerful and at our most vulnerable, all at the same time. Enter 3 Atlas, arriving precisely at the moment when the future of humanity hangs in the balance. But the question remains, why now? What about this particular moment in time makes it so crucial? Are they responding to our crises, or is there another deeper reason for their arrival? Perhaps they have been observing us for decades, centuries even, tracking our progress, waiting for the optimal moment to offer help. This could be the moment when our crises have reached such a level of intensity that they cannot afford to let us continue on our current path. Or perhaps they are not simply responding to our issues, but have a vested interest in our future development, something we do not yet understand. Every advanced civilization has a sense of timing, just as every empire throughout history has known when to act. Timing is never random. It is a strategy. You don't offer assistance to a civilization that is self-sufficient. You offer help when it is most needed, when the people have no choice but to accept it. This is the key to understanding the timing of 3 Atlas's arrival. They are not just here because we need help. They are here because they know we cannot refuse. At this very moment, humanity is at a crossroads. Our problems are so great that the offer of salvation will be more tempting than ever. But what if that salvation comes at a cost we cannot yet comprehend? Perhaps this is where the timing question becomes more than just about our readiness. It's not just that we are ready for contact, it's that we are so desperate for it that we might not fully understand the implications. Perhaps 3 Atlas knows this. Perhaps they've been watching us struggle and waiting for this precise moment when our desire for help exceeds our ability to think critically about the consequences. This is where the risk comes in. If they arrived now, they would be able to present themselves as saviors. And at a time when we are desperate for solutions, the lines between assistance and manipulation become blurred. So the question is not just why now, but also why this timing? We may not yet have the answers to these questions, but we must start thinking critically about what is truly at stake. Are we being offered a lifeline, or is this the beginning of a new chapter in which we are no longer the masters of our own fate? As 3 Atlas moves closer to Earth, humanity will have to decide. Will we embrace their help, or will we resist, even if it means facing an uncertain future? Advanced civilizations don't make casual decisions. They don't stumble into first contact by accident. If 3 Atlas chose now, they chose it for strategic reasons. Perhaps they've been watching us for decades, centuries, monitoring our development through methods we can't detect, waiting for the optimal moment when we're simultaneously desperate enough to accept help and organized enough to be useful partners or subjects. The historical parallels here are chilling. Every empire that has ever expanded has known the value of timing. You don't conquer a civilization at its peak. You conquer it during its crisis. You don't offer aid when it's unnecessary. You offer it when refusal means collapse. The most effective form of control is rescue because gratitude is stronger than fear, and dependency is stronger than domination. This is the critical element of the 3 Atlas arrival. They have calculated that this moment in time is perfect for their intervention. Humanity right now is at the height of its self-doubt and division, with our capacity for technology and growth matched only by the fragmentation within our societies. We have developed incredible technologies, but we have not solved the deep-seated issues that threaten the stability of our world. 3 Atlas knows this. They know that in our desperate moment, we would be more likely to accept whatever they offer without fully considering the price of our acceptance. Consider the astronomical timing as well. 3 Atlas arrived at the same time humanity became obsessed with interstellar objects. In 2017, the discovery of Oumuamua sparked global interest and prompted us to build detection networks, improve analysis capabilities, and engage the public in a way that made the idea of extraterrestrial visitors more plausible. 3 Atlas timed their arrival for when the conditions on Earth, both technological and psychological, made it most likely that we would pay attention to them. They didn't just stumble into our solar system, They waited for us to be ready. They waited for us to look up and realize that we're not alone. At the same time, they didn't wait too long, or they might have missed the opportunity altogether. If they had arrived too early, we wouldn't have understood the enormity of their offer. If they had arrived too late, we might have already surpassed the need for their help. They came at just the right time. When humanity is aware enough to grasp the possibilities of their arrival, but still unsure and vulnerable enough to be manipulated by it, we might see this as a blessing, an opportunity to overcome our existential struggles. But what if it's not? What if 3 Atlas, in their infinite wisdom and power, understand that we are not ready for the full consequences of their intervention? What if they are intervening for their own reasons and humanity's well-being is secondary? What if the price of their help is far greater than we are prepared to pay? We are stuck in a paradox. The more we learn about the universe, the more we realize how little we truly understand. The technology we have at our disposal has unlocked the potential for great advancement, but it has also revealed the vulnerability that comes with it. The more we explore, the more we see the dangers lurking out there in space and within ourselves. We are a species caught between hope and fear, ambition and restraint. And now we face a decision that may shape the future of humanity for millennia to come. 3 Atlas may be offering us a lifeline, but are we willing to accept it without fully understanding the cost? Or will we try to go it alone, knowing that the consequences of such a choice could be equally catastrophic? The choice we make in the face of their arrival may determine the trajectory of humanity, not just for the next century, but for the next millennium. Are we ready to join the greater community of the cosmos? Or are we too afraid, too divided, too uncertain to take that step? The question of what do they want in return is burning through the minds of every leader, scientist and philosopher on Earth. If an advanced civilization offers to solve humanity's greatest problems, we must ask ourselves, what do they get in exchange? Because in the universe, nothing is truly free, especially salvation. 3 Atlas didn't travel across the vastness of space simply out of kindness or curiosity. They are not handing out free gifts just because they can. Every interaction between species comes with terms, whether we recognize them or not. The question then becomes, what will be expected of us? At first glance, the most optimistic interpretation is that 3 Atlas wants nothing from us. They might operate on a post-scarcity model where material wealth and resources are meaningless. Perhaps they help us simply because we are in need, because advanced civilizations understand that assisting younger civilizations is a moral imperative. But if that were the case, then we must ask, why would such a civilization, with vast technological superiority, need anything from us? After all, they have the means to travel across light years and share knowledge without our assistance. The more likely scenario is that they want something in return. History has shown us that no gift comes without some form of exchange. Even acts of benevolence carry hidden costs. One of the most likely possibilities is that 3 Atlas seeks knowledge. Our planet, with its diverse ecosystems and the wealth of life it supports, could be an invaluable resource to them. They could be interested in the genetic and evolutionary data we possess, a treasure trove of biological solutions to problems they may have never encountered. In fact, Earth itself may be a biological laboratory, a resource they need to better understand life and the infinite possibilities it holds. But this brings about a disturbing set of questions. What if they want to alter the course of human evolution? What if they begin collecting and studying human biological data? How much are we willing to give up in exchange for their help? Would we become subjects of experimentation, or would we willingly offer ourselves for study in the hope of advancing our species? There is also the possibility that 3 Atlas wants something more abstract, something we can't yet fathom. Perhaps they need our cultural data, the rich tapestry of our history, art, literature, and philosophy. Our species has a unique perspective on the universe, and that perspective could be of great value to them. They might not be interested in material wealth, but in our ideas, our creativity, our ways of thinking. This would make Earth not only a biological lab, but also a cultural museum, a place to study the diversity of human thought and emotion. And then there is the possibility that they are not interested in anything material or intellectual at all. Perhaps what 3 Atlas wants is something far more existential: legitimacy. If they have conquered or absorbed countless other civilizations, they may need proof that joining their empire is desirable. By offering us salvation, they could be validating their civilization, showing that even humanity, a young, flawed species, desires what they offer. In this way, our acceptance of their help would become a form of endorsement, making their empire seem benevolent and just. By transforming us into their willing partners, we could become the propaganda tool that justifies everything they have done. The most unsettling possibility is that 3 Atlas may want more than just knowledge or validation. Perhaps they want to rewrite the future of humanity. They have the power to reshape us, to guide our evolution and development, not necessarily with force, but through influence. Every technology they share, every solution they provide, would steer humanity onto a path of their choosing, preventing us from developing on our own terms. In this scenario, accepting their help means accepting their vision of who we should become. A vision that may not align with the aspirations and desires of humanity as we understand it. We would trade our uncertain, self-determined future for a predetermined one where we no longer make the key decisions about our destiny. This transformation may seem harmless at first, but as time goes on, we would realize that the price of accepting their help is our autonomy. The question is, how much of our identity, our humanity, are we willing to surrender in exchange for their assistance? There's also the military aspect to consider. No advanced civilization would travel across the stars without some measure of self-preservation in mind. 3 Atlas might need allies or soldiers. Their technology could enable us to defend ourselves from threats we cannot yet imagine, and in return, we might be called upon to fight in a conflict far beyond our understanding. The gift of unlimited technology could come with the obligation to use it for purposes we do not yet comprehend. The offer of salvation, the promise of a better future, could be a carefully crafted illusion, one that ultimately leads us into a greater conflict, one where we are not just partners, but pawns in a larger game. And if we accept this offer without fully understanding the consequences, we might find ourselves forever bound to their will, without the ability to ever return to the path of self-determination. How do we know they're actually friendly? This question cuts to the core of humanity's response to 3 Atlas. How can we verify that they truly mean us no harm? Accepting the claim of friendship from a vastly superior intelligence is one of the most dangerous traps in strategic history. The consequences of getting this wrong are catastrophic, possibly even extinction level. The fundamental asymmetry here is overwhelming. 3 Atlas understands us far better than we understand them. They have had time to study our broadcasts, our digital emissions, our cultural outputs. They know our fears, our desires, what we consider to be trustworthy. They know how we think. Meanwhile, we are reading their signals in the dark, with no clear understanding of what they are trying to convey. This creates what intelligence analysts call the perception management problem. Every demonstration of friendly intent they offer could be nothing more than theatre, designed to elicit the exact response they want. They could cure diseases, but who's to say they didn't introduce those diseases in the first place, through methods we can't even detect? They could solve climate change, but perhaps they are terraforming Earth to suit their own needs, disguised as assistance. They might share technology with us, but how do we know that every device, every piece of knowledge they provide, doesn't contain hidden backdoors or subtle modifications that serve their true purposes? The verification problem becomes exponentially harder when you consider their technological superiority. Imagine trying to verify the safety of software when you don't understand the programming language, can't examine the source code, and have no way to predict what the executable actually does until you run it. Now, imagine that this software controls the entire infrastructure of your civilization. This is the position humanity occupies when trying to verify 3 Atlas's intentions. Every test we devise, they can predict. Every trap we set, they can avoid. Every behavioral analysis we conduct, they can manipulate. We're playing chess against an opponent who can see 50 moves ahead, while we're still trying to remember how the pieces move. The traditional tools of verification, observation, experimentation, prediction, all shatter when applied to a being with vastly superior intelligence and capabilities. Let's look back at some historical precedents that should terrify us. When European colonizers arrived in the Americas, they initially appeared friendly to many indigenous peoples. Trade goods, fascinating technology, promises of partnership, all were offered and accepted. But by the time the true nature of colonial intentions became undeniable, the balance of power had already shifted irreversibly. The Trojan horse looked like a gift until it was too late. The missionary looked benevolent until the empire followed. Every successful subjugation of a civilization began with convincing the target that resistance was unnecessary, that they were being offered a gift, not a conquest. Could 3 Atlas be running the same playbook on a civilizational scale? The first contact would be friendly because violent conquest is inefficient and risks damage to valuable resources. Much better to arrive as saviors, be welcomed as friends, integrate into every system we rely on, and then, when we are sufficiently dependent, when resistance would mean the collapse of our own civilization, the true terms of their offer would be revealed. And by then, we would have already accepted their aid, their technology, their influence, and with it, their control. This is the soft power of interstellar diplomacy, where the victor doesn't need to fire a single shot to dominate a civilization. So how do we begin verifying their true intentions? Can we trust any actions or offers they make? Perhaps instead of trying to decipher their every move, we need to ask ourselves the harder question: are we capable of distinguishing between genuine benevolence and subtle manipulation? Are we prepared to ask the right questions and not be seduced by the appearance of kindness, by the overwhelming promise of salvation? Or are we so eager for help, so desperate for answers, that we will fail to see the dangers that lie beneath the surface? One way we might approach this verification is by observing their behavior across multiple interactions. Do they respect boundaries when we set them? Do they answer questions honestly, and can we independently verify their answers? Do they demonstrate restraint when they could easily overpower us? Do they show consistency in their actions, or do they act differently when they believe we are not looking? The most telling signs of true intentions often come when they think we are not watching, but even this approach may be flawed. An adversary with superior intelligence could maintain perfect consistency, avoid all traps, and never show their true nature. They could appear completely benevolent until the trap is sprung, and by then it might be too late for us to escape. Let's consider the possibility of testing their limits. One strategy for verifying 3 Atlas's intentions could involve pushing back on something they request and observing their reaction. For instance, we could refuse a technology transfer and see if they respect our autonomy, or demand transparency in their operations and see whether they comply or try to evade. This experimental approach to verification treats first contact like an adversarial negotiation, where we probe for weaknesses and boundaries. However, this method carries significant risks. What if we misinterpret their actions? What if our refusal to comply offends them and we unintentionally damage what could have been a mutually beneficial relationship? Perhaps their approach to secrecy or privacy is based on principles we do not yet understand. Furthermore, there's the issue of cultural misunderstanding. What we perceive as an innocuous request may hold deep significance to them, and rejecting it could be seen as an offense. The danger of testing their limits too early is that it could lead to catastrophic misunderstandings, alienating them, or even causing them to abandon the relationship entirely. What if we're too suspicious, too paranoid to recognize genuine benevolence? What if we sabotage the greatest opportunity humanity has ever faced by questioning their every move? On the other hand, if we accept their offers too easily, if we trust them without thoroughly questioning their intentions, we might open ourselves up to manipulation, to becoming unwitting participants in a long-term plan that we do not fully understand. This is the razor's edge we walk when considering first contact with an alien species. Too trusting, and we might lose our autonomy. Too suspicious, and we might lose the chance at salvation. Perhaps the most reasonable approach, then, is to accept the uncertainty. We cannot know for certain whether 3 Atlas's intentions are benevolent or predatory. All we can do is make the best judgment possible based on the evidence we have at the time. We must be prepared to change our course if new information arises, but we cannot afford to let fear paralyze us or make us reject help outright. The stakes are too high, and as we move forward, we must recognize that our decisions may shape the future of humanity in ways we cannot fully predict. This brings us to another question. If we can't fully verify their intentions, how do we determine the risks of accepting their help? How do we weigh the potential benefits against the dangers? For example, if 3 Atlas offers to solve our climate crisis, to end world hunger, or to cure diseases that have plagued humanity for millennia, we must ask ourselves, what will we be sacrificing in return? Can we truly trust that their solutions will not come with unintended consequences, that their technological gifts will not create new problems that we cannot foresee? One thing is certain. Whatever we choose, the future of humanity will be irrevocably altered by the presence of 3 Atlas. The question isn't whether we can avoid this change, but how we will navigate it. Will we accept their help, and if so, under what conditions? Or will we reject it, choosing to continue struggling on our own terms, knowing that doing so might mean our extinction? The answer to that question will determine the fate of every human alive today and every generation to come. This decision will also shape the nature of our relationship with the rest of the cosmos. If 3 Atlas offers us the keys to the universe, will we take them and join a galactic community? Or will we reject the offer and remain isolated, trapped on our small, fragile planet? The choice we make will define our place in the vastness of space, and we must decide whether we are ready to embrace our potential, or whether we are too fearful of the unknown to take that first step into the stars. Let's consider the possibility that we may never fully know 3 Atlas's true intentions. Perhaps we will never have the tools or the time to verify whether they are genuinely benevolent or not. If we accept their offers of salvation without fully understanding the cost, are we truly exercising our free will, or are we simply being swept along by forces beyond our control? In essence, are we choosing our fate, or are we merely choosing the lesser of 2 evils, the unknown threat of rejection versus the potential hidden dangers of acceptance? This is a deeply philosophical question. Many would argue that the choice to accept or reject 3 Atlas's offer should be made by humanity as a whole, but the reality is far more complicated. We do not have a unified voice on Earth. The divisions that currently separate nations, cultures, and ideologies make it unlikely that we can come to a consensus on how to proceed. Even within our own governments, there will be disagreements on how to handle the situation. Some will see 3 Atlas as a potential ally, others as a threat, and still others as something to be studied or exploited. One of the most pressing issues humanity will face is representation. Who speaks for Earth? Who has the authority to make decisions on behalf of billions of people, each with their own needs, desires, and fears? The United Nations, while designed for global coordination, lacks enforcement power and legitimacy in a situation of this magnitude. If 3 Atlas offers help to humanity, how will the world's fragmented political structures respond? Will they accept or reject the offer based on national interests, or will they come together in the face of a common threat or opportunity? The answer to that question could determine whether humanity remains divided or unites as a species. Religious institutions will also play a crucial role in this decision. Many of the world's major religions have deeply held beliefs about humanity's place in the universe, the nature of existence, and the role of extraterrestrial life. How will religious leaders react to 3 Atlas's arrival? Will they see it as the fulfillment of prophecy or as a threat to their doctrines? Some may view 3 Atlas as divine messengers, others as demonic forces, and still others as beings that need to be studied and understood before any judgment is made. These religious interpretations will influence millions of people, and their reactions will shape the global response. Even beyond governments and religions, other influential groups, such as corporations and non-governmental organizations, will have their own agendas. Large tech companies and powerful industrial players may try to engage directly with 3 Atlas, seeking access to their technology or establishing partnerships. These private entities could wield significant power, potentially even rivaling national governments in their influence over the outcome of first contact. And as with all power structures, The question will be, what will they ask for in return? Will they seek to monopolize access to 3 Atlas's technology, or will they use their newfound knowledge to further their own goals, regardless of the consequences for humanity as a whole? Another question that must be addressed is the role of individuals. How will ordinary people respond to the arrival of 3 Atlas? Will they eagerly embrace the possibility of a better future? Or will they resist, fearing that the price of salvation is too high? Will they demand a say in the decision-making process? Or will they defer to their leaders, trusting that those in power will make the right choice on their behalf? And how will future generations view the choices made by those who lived during the first contact? Will they see our decisions as enlightened or as a catastrophic failure? The biggest challenge, perhaps, is that no matter how we respond, humanity will be forever changed. The arrival of 3 Atlas will alter the very fabric of society, culture, and identity. The fundamental questions of who we are, what we want, and what we're willing to sacrifice will be brought to the forefront of human consciousness. We will have to confront our deepest fears, our darkest desires, and our most profound uncertainties. And in the end, no matter how we choose, the consequences of that choice will be felt for generations to come. The future of humanity may depend on our ability to come together, to transcend our divisions, and to make a decision that reflects the best of who we are, not just as individuals, but as a species. Will we embrace the unknown, or will we allow our fears to dictate our path? Will we rise to the challenge, or will we falter in the face of an opportunity we can't fully comprehend? The decision humanity faces now is far greater than any single nation, religion, or ideology. It is a question that affects every individual, every culture, and every aspect of our civilization. For the first time in human history, we are confronted with the possibility of a truly transformative event: contact with an advanced alien species. The implications of this contact are staggering, and we are left to wonder, what will our response be? Will we come together as one unified species, or will we remain fragmented, divided by our differences? The challenges we face are not just political or technological, but fundamentally existential. How we respond to 3 Atlas will determine our future, for better or worse. In the end, the choice may not be ours to make alone. If 3 Atlas is as advanced as we believe, they may have already considered humanity's potential responses. They may have accounted for the divisions within our species and planned accordingly. If they are truly benevolent, they might help us overcome our internal conflicts, showing us the way to unity. But if they are less concerned with our well-being, they might exploit these divisions, playing one faction against another in order to achieve their own goals. Regardless of their true intentions, we must acknowledge that we are entering a new phase in our development, one in which the decisions we make will have consequences far beyond our understanding. The greatest uncertainty, perhaps, lies in the question of whether humanity is ready for contact. Are we mature enough to handle the responsibility that comes with interacting with a civilization far more advanced than our own? Have we outgrown our petty conflicts, our narrow-minded national interests, our fears of the unknown? Or will we allow our divisions and our insecurities to lead us down a path of destruction? Are we capable of recognizing the opportunity 3 Atlas offers, or will we miss it, consumed by fear and suspicion? The truth is, we don't know. We can only hope that we are ready, and that the choices we make today will be the ones that secure our place in the cosmos, not as subjects of a superior power, but as equals capable of contributing to a greater galactic community. But even if we choose to accept Three Atlas's help, even if we embrace the possibility of salvation, we must be prepared for the challenges that will arise in the wake of their arrival. The world as we know it will change, and we must be ready to adapt. The technologies they offer, the solutions they provide, will disrupt every facet of life on Earth. We will need to rethink our political, economic, and social systems. We will need to redefine what it means to be human in a universe where other intelligent life exists. This is not just a scientific or technological revolution, but a cultural and philosophical one. The very foundations of human civilization will be shaken to their core. This upheaval will not come without its own set of challenges. The benefits of Three Atlas's assistance will not be evenly distributed. Some groups will embrace their help, while others will resist. Nations and factions that feel threatened by the changes will fight to maintain their power, and those that benefit from the new technologies will struggle to adapt to the responsibilities that come with them. The question will be, how do we ensure that this new power is used for the good of all humanity? How do we avoid the same pitfalls that have plagued us throughout history, where the few benefit at the expense of the many? The risk of exploitation is great, and we must be vigilant in protecting our autonomy, our diversity, and our rights. Moreover, we must be mindful of the psychological and emotional toll that first contact will take on humanity. The knowledge that we are not alone in the universe, that we are not the pinnacle of intelligence, will be both liberating and terrifying. Our sense of identity, our place in the cosmos, will be forever altered. Some will welcome this new reality with open arms, eager to learn and grow. Others will struggle to accept it, unable to reconcile the truth of our insignificance in the grand scheme of the universe. The psychological impact will be profound, and we must be prepared to support each other through it. The arrival of Three Atlas represents the ultimate test of humanity's ability to rise above our divisions, to transcend our limitations, and to embrace the unknown. It is a test of our maturity, our wisdom, and our capacity for unity. Will we accept the challenge and work together for the greater good? Or will we falter in the face of fear, distrust, and division? The choice is ours, but it is not an easy one. It will require us to confront our deepest fears, our most ingrained prejudices, and our greatest insecurities. It will force us to rethink everything we know about ourselves, about the universe, and about what it means to be human. The arrival of Three Atlas represents a moment of profound change, not just for humanity, but for the entire universe. It marks the beginning of a new chapter in the story of life itself. For the first time, we are faced with the reality that we are not alone, that there are other civilizations out there, watching, waiting, and perhaps even judging us. This realization forces us to confront our place in the cosmos, to question everything we thought we knew about ourselves and our potential. Are we truly ready for the responsibility that comes with joining the greater galactic community? Or are we still too divided, too self-centered, and too immature to handle such a monumental shift in our understanding of the universe? One of the greatest challenges humanity faces is overcoming the psychological and cultural barriers that have kept us divided for centuries. We have long defined ourselves by our nationalities, our ideologies, and our religions. These divisions have been the source of countless conflicts, wars, and misunderstandings throughout history. But now, as we stand on the brink of interstellar contact, these old divisions may no longer serve us. The question is, can we transcend our past and come together as a unified species? Can we set aside our differences and recognize the greater good, the shared destiny that lies before us? The fear of the unknown is a powerful force. It has shaped human history in countless ways, from the exploration of new lands to the discovery of new scientific truths. But fear can also be paralyzing. It can prevent us from taking bold actions, from embracing new ideas, and from moving forward into the future. If we allow our fear of the unknown to dictate our response to 3 Atlas, we may miss the greatest opportunity humanity has ever had. But if we embrace the challenge, if we step into the unknown with courage and determination, we may find that the rewards are greater than we could ever imagine. This is where the true test of humanity lies, in our ability to overcome our fear and move forward together. It is not just a test of our intelligence or our technological capabilities, but a test of our character. Are we willing to put aside our divisions, our pride, and our insecurities in order to embrace something greater than ourselves? Are we ready to take the first step into a new era, one where the fate of humanity is intertwined with the fate of the galaxy? The answer to this question will shape our future, for better or for worse. It is not enough to simply accept 3 Atlas's offer of help. We must also be prepared to ask the tough questions, to demand answers, and to ensure that we are not being manipulated or coerced. We must be vigilant, wise, and united in our approach, and we must be willing to make the difficult decisions that come with such a monumental shift in human history. The arrival of 3 Atlas is not just a blessing, but also a responsibility. A responsibility to ourselves, to our future, and to the other species that may one day look to us as a model of what it means to join the greater cosmic family. The future of humanity is in our hands. We can choose to take this moment and use it to grow, to evolve, and to become something greater than we ever thought possible. Or we can let it slip away, consumed by our fears, our divisions, and our inability to act. The choice is ours, and the consequences of that choice will echo throughout the galaxy for millennia to come. As we stand on the precipice of this monumental decision, it's important to reflect on the gravity of the situation. The arrival of 3 Atlas is not just an external event, it's an internal one. It forces us to look inward and ask, who are we as a species? What do we truly want from the universe, and what are we willing to sacrifice to get it? Are we ready to embrace the unknown, to step into a new chapter of human history with courage and unity? Or will we let our divisions and fears determine our fate? The answer is not simple. It requires us to challenge every assumption we've ever held, to question the very foundation of what it means to be human. But this moment, this encounter with the unknown, also holds the potential for transformation. If we choose wisely, if we come together as one, the future could be brighter than we ever imagined. But if we falter, if we let fear and distrust lead us, we may find ourselves lost in the vastness of space, unable to move forward, unable to connect with the very life we once sought to understand. Ultimately, the choice is ours. The gift of 3 Atlas is not just a technological one, but a spiritual and philosophical one. It challenges us to evolve, to grow beyond our current limitations, to become something greater than we are today. But with that gift comes responsibility. We must approach it with wisdom, with caution, and with a deep respect for the consequences of our actions. As we move forward into this new era, let us remember that the true power lies not in the technology or the knowledge that 3 Atlas offers, but in how we use it. It lies in our ability to adapt, to learn, and to find common ground despite our differences. It lies in our willingness to confront the unknown, to face our fears, and to rise above them. And as we look up at the stars, let us remember that we are not just a species on a tiny planet, but a part of something much greater, a vast interconnected universe full of mysteries and possibilities. It is up to us to decide what role we will play in that universe. Will we take our place among the stars, or will we remain earthbound, forever trapped by our own limitations? The choice, as always, is ours. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the unknown. The story of humanity's first contact with 3 Atlas is just beginning, and the possibilities are limitless. I look forward to seeing how we, as a species, choose to respond, together, with hope, or divided, with fear. Whatever the future holds, we must face it with open minds and open hearts. Until next time, keep looking up, keep questioning, and never stop seeking the truth. As we stand at the crossroads of humanity's future, with the arrival of 3 Atlas, it's impossible to ignore the gravity of the decisions that lie before us. We're being asked to confront not just the unknown, but the very essence of who we are, what we stand for, and what we hope to become. In the face of such overwhelming uncertainty, we have the power to choose. But that power is fraught with responsibility. We must ask ourselves, how will we use this moment? Will we embrace the opportunity for unity, for growth, for a future where humanity stands side by side with the cosmos? Or will we falter in the face of our fears, unsure of what lies beyond the veil? The truth is, no one can predict what the future holds. The arrival of 3 Atlas, their offer of salvation, could change everything, or it could change nothing at all, depending on how we respond. But one thing is certain, this moment will define us. How we choose to interact with the universe, how we choose to interact with each other, will shape the trajectory of human civilization for generations to come. The future, though uncertain, is ours to create. And whether we rise to meet this new chapter with courage or shrink from it in fear, the choice will be remembered as one of the most significant moments in human history. So as we prepare for the future, let's not forget what makes us human. It's not just our technology, our intellect, or our achievements. It's our ability to come together, to support each other, to confront the unknown with curiosity rather than fear. It's our capacity to learn from our mistakes and our triumphs alike, and to evolve into something better, something greater. The universe is vast, full of mysteries and possibilities, but the greatest discovery of all is the potential we hold within ourselves to shape that future. In the end, it's not about whether 3 Atlas is friend or foe. It's about what we choose to do with the opportunity that has been placed before us. The path is not clear, but it is ours to walk, and as we continue down this journey, remember, we are not alone, and we never will be again. The universe is waiting, and so are we. So as we look to the stars, let us move forward with hope, with purpose, and with a deep respect for the incredible journey that lies ahead. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of humanity's first contact with 3 Atlas. I leave you with this thought. The stars have always been within our reach. Now, we must decide if we are ready to reach for them.